Have you ever noticed how sometimes family members seem to avoid sitting close or hugging as warmly as they used to? It's a small thing, but if you've felt it, you know it can quietly sting. I want to share something that many seniors don't talk about, a natural change our bodies go through that can create a subtle but noticeable smell, one that can make even our closest loved ones keep their distance. I know because I've been there myself. For years, I thought I was just imagining things until my granddaughter stopped sitting on my lap, wrinkling her nose in a way I couldn't ignore. It hurt more than I expected. But here's the good news. This isn't a problem you have to live with or be ashamed of. There's an easy, gentle way to handle it that most people never hear about, and it doesn't involve expensive products or harsh treatments. It's something simple, backed by science and proven by thousands of seniors who've seen real change. Imagine your grandkids coming back, eager to hug you and sit close, just like before. That joy is still within reach. So, I want to ask you, have you ever wondered if there's a way to bring back that closeness, to feel confident and fresh again? You deserve to live your best life, surrounded by love and warmth. Stick with me, and I'll share the secrets that can help you do just that. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. Now, let's begin. Have you ever stopped and wondered why this peculiar old person smell seems to show up, almost out of nowhere, just as you're beginning to enjoy the wisdom and freedom that come with your golden years? It's not something people like to talk about at dinner parties or family gatherings, and most folks would never dream of asking their doctor about it. Yet, for millions of older Americans, it quietly colors the way we experience our daily lives. A subtle change, sometimes more obvious to those around us than to ourselves. Let me tell you, you're not alone if you've ever picked up on that faint, musky scent in a room where your older friends gather, or if you've secretly worried, is that coming from me? Maybe you've noticed grandchildren who used to clamber into your lap now choosing the seat just a little further away, or a daughter-in-law cracking a window open during family visits, a gentle smile not quite hiding her discomfort. Perhaps you've even caught yourself buying a new bottle of cologne, hoping a fresh scent will wash away the worry, only to find that, somehow, it doesn't quite work. I can still remember when I first heard someone mention old person smell. I was a medical intern in a bustling city hospital, assigned to the geriatric floor. Back then, I was young and full of ideas, eager to help, but clueless about the emotional world that comes with aging. One evening, as I walked past the nurse's station, I overheard 2 aides talking. One said, with a soft chuckle, "You know you've been here too long when you can tell which patient just walked down the hall, even with your eyes closed." It struck me then how deeply this issue runs. It's not just about the nose, but about dignity, comfort, and the invisible lines drawn by age. So why does old person smell happen? Is it just poor hygiene, or something deeper? To answer this, let's step into the fascinating science of aging. Not the kind that makes your eyes glaze over, but the simple, remarkable changes that take place in every body as the years go by. Understanding the real reasons behind these changes isn't just about being informed. It's about reclaiming confidence, respect, and the warmth of family closeness. Why does old person smell happen? It might surprise you, but old person smell is not a sign that someone is unclean, lazy, or has given up on self-care. Of the cleanest, most meticulous folks I've met, including my mother, who never missed a morning bath, have still dealt with it. Scientists have a name for this scent: nonenal. It's a real, measurable compound that's more common in the skin of people over 60 than in younger adults. But to understand how and why nonenal develops, we need to look at what happens beneath the surface, inside our sweat glands, our skin's oils, and even our mouths as we age. For many years, doctors and researchers puzzled over this phenomenon. Was it the result of just getting older, or could something specific be identified and explained? After decades of careful study, the answer became clear: our bodies are like finely tuned engines. Over time, certain parts wear down, others slow, and a few even start to work a little differently. These subtle shifts add up, and together, they change the way we smell. Let's explore these changes one by one, weaving together science with real stories from people just like you. Friends, neighbors, patients, and maybe even a reflection of your own experience. Changes in sweat production with age. You may recall a time, perhaps back in your 30s or 40s, when you'd come home after a brisk walk or a summer's day in the garden, shirt sticking to your back, sweat trickling down your face. It was uncomfortable, but you knew a quick shower would set things right. Sweat, for most of our lives, is the body's natural air conditioner and cleaning crew, keeping us cool and flushing out toxins. But here's a surprising fact. After the age of 60, sweat production drops dramatically. For many older adults, the sweat glands slow down, and you might not even notice that you're sweating less, until you realize that your skin feels drier than it used to, or that heat waves hit you harder. You might think, well, less sweat means less smell, right? The truth, however, is just the opposite. When we're younger, regular sweating helps wash away the waste products that naturally build up on our skin. Every time you sweat, you're not just cooling off, you're sending out salts, urea, and other compounds that would otherwise linger. When sweat production decreases, those compounds don't just disappear. Instead, they collect on the skin's surface, providing a feast for bacteria. The bacteria break down these compounds, releasing their byproducts, and that's a big part of where old person smell begins. I remember one patient, George, a retired bus driver from Ohio. He was a big man with a booming laugh, but he came to see me because his family had started to avoid hugs and close conversation. "Doc," he said, "I shower every morning and wear clean clothes. But my daughter keeps opening the windows, and my grandson calls me old cheese." It broke his heart. After running some tests, I explained how sweat production slows with age, leaving more debris behind for bacteria to feed on. George was relieved, and a little amused, to learn that it wasn't anything he was doing wrong. He just needed to adjust his daily routine in simple ways to help his body stay clean, even with less sweat. Sweat is your body's natural cleanser, and when the cleaning crew takes more breaks, it's up to us to pitch in a little more. The good news is that with gentle, targeted washing and a few tweaks to your habits, you can outsmart biology and keep feeling fresh. Changes in sebum, skin oil, chemistry. Now, let's talk about something else that gets a makeover as we get older: the oils on our skin. You might not think about it much, but every inch of your skin is covered in a fine layer of oil, called sebum. When we're younger, sebum is mostly a mix of fatty acids, cholesterol, and other natural oils. It keeps our skin soft, smooth, and protected from the elements. But as the years go by, the chemistry of sebum changes. Research has shown that starting around age 50, and ramping up into our 70s, our skin begins to produce a new kind of compound called 2-nonenal. This is the real culprit behind old person smell. Nonenal is produced when the fatty acids in our skin's oil get oxidized, a process that speeds up with sun exposure, stress, and time itself. Nonenal is a little different from the other scents our bodies make. It's not as sharp as sweat, nor as fleeting as the smell of last night's dinner on your clothes. It lingers, and because it's slightly oily, it tends to stick to fabrics. Your favorite sweater, the pillowcase, even the recliner you love to nap in. And unlike most other odors, nonenal is particularly tough for many people to detect on themselves. You might not even notice it, but others do, especially children, who are naturally more sensitive to new or unfamiliar smells. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. I once had a lovely lady named Martha in my clinic. She was the matriarch of her family, famous for her peach cobbler and always impeccably dressed. But Martha confessed, her teenage granddaughter stopped coming over for sleepovers. "She says the guest room smells funny, and I can't figure out why," Martha admitted, her voice trembling just a little. After explaining the science of nonenal and how it accumulates in bedding and upholstery, we made a simple plan. More frequent washing of linens, airing out rooms, and gentle, regular cleansing of her skin. Within weeks, her granddaughter was back, happily snuggled under the same old quilt. Sebum is essential to keeping our skin healthy, but the way it changes as we age is something most people never learn about until it's too late. The wonderful part is, with awareness and a few routine adjustments, you can prevent those oils from turning into unwelcome guests in your home. Changes in mouth environment, saliva reduction. Here's something most folks never think about. Your mouth changes with age, too. It's not just about losing a tooth here or there, or switching to softer foods. After 60, saliva production can drop by half, and that dry mouth feeling is more than just uncomfortable. It's a playground for bacteria, which thrive in less moist environments. Saliva isn't just spit, it's a crucial part of your body's self-cleaning system. Every time you swallow, you're washing away bacteria and leftover food particles, keeping your mouth fresh and your breath clean. But when saliva slows down, bacteria multiply quickly. The result? That infamous morning breath that sometimes lingers all day, along with a sour, musty odor that contributes to the overall old person smell. Linda, a 73-year-old retired teacher, was always careful about brushing and flossing. But her mouth felt parched, especially after her afternoon nap, and her grandson started giving her quick pecks on the cheek instead of lingering hugs. "I keep mints in my purse, but they only help for a little while," she told me. I explained how dry mouth can be a sign of reduced saliva, sometimes worsened by common medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or depression. Chewing sugar-free gum, drinking more water, and using a mouth rinse designed for dry mouth made a world of difference. Linda soon found her grandson didn't mind whispering secrets in her ear again. Saliva, like sweat and sebum, is a natural part of staying clean. When production drops, it's not your fault, but there are simple ways to help your body keep its balance. Why usual fixes, like cologne, don't work? By now, you might be thinking, well, if this is all just biology, why not just use stronger soap or a fancier perfume? Here's where many people, including well-meaning children and grandchildren, make a common mistake. Masking the problem doesn't solve it, and sometimes it makes things worse. Cologne and deodorants might hide the scent for a while, but they don't address the root cause. Many fragrances simply mix with nonenal and the other natural odors, creating a cocktail that's even more noticeable, and sometimes downright unpleasant. It's a little like spraying air freshener in a room with dirty laundry. You get a new smell, but the problem underneath is still there. John, a retired Navy officer and one of my favorite patients, had a shelf full of aftershaves and body sprays. He told me, "Doc, I've tried everything. Lemon, musk, sandalwood, you name it. My wife says the house smells like a department store." But he was still embarrassed at church socials, where people kept a polite distance. Once I showed him how to target the problem at its source, by focusing on key areas during showers, keeping his skin moisturized, and updating his laundry routine, the cloud of scents disappeared, replaced by genuine freshness. His confidence returned, and so did his spot at the weekly bridge table. The same goes for antibacterial soaps and harsh cleansers. They can dry out the skin, making things worse by stripping away the protective barrier that keeps harmful bacteria at bay. Instead, gentle, fragrance-free cleansers and consistent routines are the best way to manage aging skin and odors. The key is not to fight your body, but to work with it. The emotional side. You're not alone. If you're feeling embarrassed or frustrated about this issue, please know this: you are not alone. Every older adult, at some point, notices changes in the way they smell or the way others react to them. It doesn't mean you've failed or that you're less lovable. Addressing the reality of old person smell is an act of love. For yourself, for your family, and for the precious connections that make life rich. I've seen time and again how families can grow closer when these invisible barriers come down. When a grandchild cuddles up without hesitation, or a spouse holds your hand without flinching, it's about more than scent. It's about dignity, comfort, and belonging. The hopeful science. Small changes, big impact. Here's the most encouraging part. The solution isn't complicated or out of reach. Most of the changes that help reduce or eliminate old person smell are easy, affordable, and can fit into your daily life with very little effort. The secret is knowing where to focus. Science tells us that the three main changes, sweat, sebum, and saliva, work together to shape the scents of our bodies. But with targeted hygiene, smart habits, and gentle self-care, you can dramatically cut down on unwanted odors. And, best of all, you can do it without harsh chemicals, expensive products, or embarrassment. Think about how many things in life get better with a little extra attention. A home-cooked meal, a garden tended with care, a cherished friendship. Your well-being deserves the same loving touch. By understanding the science and responding with kindness to your body, you can reclaim the closeness you treasure, whether it's a grandchild's hug or a spouse's smile. Real stories, real change. Take, for example, my neighbor, Paul. He was always active in the community, volunteering at the local food bank and coaching Little League. As he got older, he noticed people started calling him Mr. P, a friendly nickname, but also one that kept him at arm's length. One afternoon, his daughter pulled him aside. "Dad, the boys say your car smells funny. Maybe it's time to clean the seats." It stung. But instead of getting upset, Paul asked for help. Together, they washed the car, changed the seat covers, and started a new routine of airing out his home and clothes more often. The next time the Little League team piled into his car, the only thing anyone noticed was his famous laugh. Or consider Susan, who lived alone after her husband passed away. She kept a tidy house and followed her routine to the letter, but still felt a little anxious about inviting friends over. When her bridge club mentioned that old house smell, she realized it wasn't just in her head. A few changes, washing curtains, using baking soda in her shoes, and opening windows for a few minutes each morning, made all the difference. At the next club meeting, the only thing her friends noticed was her delicious apple pie. Humor, humanity, and hope. Let's not lose our sense of humor along the way. Aging is a wild, beautiful ride, full of surprises. Sometimes those surprises include new aches and pains, unexpected joys, and, yes, a few scents that weren't there before. If you can laugh with yourself, ask questions, and keep an open mind, you'll find that even the trickiest problems have gentle solutions. I remember my grandfather, who loved to tease us kids by pretending to be a stinky old bear. He'd sneak up, give a big hug, and then laugh as we shrieked and scattered. "One day, you'll be old and cuddly too," he'd say, and we'd all agree. Now, as I help older adults every day, I know he was teaching us a bigger lesson, that every stage of life comes with its scent, its own story, and its chance for connection. What science and love suggest next? So, what should you take away from all this? If you're worried about old person smell, don't hide or feel ashamed. Instead, let's face it together, with kindness, curiosity, and confidence. Remember, your body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do as it ages. These changes are natural, but they're not destiny. You have the power to make choices that support your health, your comfort, and your relationships. And as we continue, I'll share the simple, practical steps, rooted in the best research, tested by real seniors, and designed to fit your lifestyle, that can make a world of difference. It's not about erasing the signs of age, but about celebrating them, with freshness, dignity, and love. Stay with me. The secret to staying close to those you love and feeling your best every day is right around the corner. Sometimes, the answers we need are much simpler than we imagine. For years, I searched for complicated solutions. Special soaps, expensive colognes, and even strange remedies passed down from well-meaning friends. But it wasn't until I started listening, truly listening, to my own body and the stories of people just like you, that I began to see real change. The real secrets to feeling fresh, confident, and welcomed by those you love are rooted not in products, but in habits. Simple daily actions that anyone can take, regardless of age, background, or experience. Drink enough warm water daily. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let's begin with something so ordinary, it's easy to dismiss: water. Most of us grew up in a time when we didn't fuss much about hydration. We drank when we were thirsty, maybe had a cup of coffee or tea in the morning, and that was that. But as we age, our bodies change in subtle ways. We lose our sense of thirst. Our skin becomes thinner. Our internal organs, especially our kidneys and liver, have to work harder to filter the everyday waste our bodies produce. Here's the truth. Without enough water, the natural systems that flush out toxins and old, lingering compounds don't work as well. This isn't just about feeling a little parched. Over time, it means that tiny amounts of waste can build up in our bodies, eventually making their way out through our skin. That's right, your body will use every available exit, including your pores, if it has to. Let me tell you about my friend Harold. Harold was a proud man, a former high school football coach, a gentle giant who hated asking for help. He started noticing his grandchildren keeping their distance. At first, he thought it was just the way kids are these days. But when his daughter started opening all the windows after he left, he felt the old ache of loneliness creeping in. He came to me almost in tears. "Doc, am I just getting old? Is that why they don't want me around?" We started with the simplest step. Harold began drinking a glass of warm water first thing every morning. Not coffee, not tea, just warm water. He set a timer on his phone to remind him throughout the day. Another glass before lunch, another after, one in the mid-afternoon, one before dinner, and one before bed. It felt odd at first. "It's a lot more water than I ever drank before," he admitted with a sheepish grin. But after 2 weeks, something shifted. His skin felt softer. The faint but persistent, old person smell faded. His granddaughter crawled into his lap again, resting her head on his chest as they watched cartoons. Harold called me, voice trembling. "Doc, I smell like myself again. I feel like myself again." Water may not be flashy, but it is essential. If you remember just one tip from all I share, let it be this. Give your body the water it's been quietly begging for. Not only will it help flush away odors, but you'll find your mind clearer, your joints less stiff, and your energy just a little bit brighter. Take light walks in sunlight. Next, let's talk about the sun. Many older adults shy away from the sun, afraid of skin damage or simply feeling too tired to venture outside. Yet gentle sunlight is a natural healer. It helps our bodies create vitamin D, which is crucial for strong bones, immune health, and yes, even for skin health. More importantly, sunlight and light exercise work together to keep our bodies in motion, and movement encourages healthy sweating. Sweat sometimes gets a bad rap. People assume that sweating causes body odor, but in truth, it's the body's natural cleansing system. When we're young, we sweat more and more regularly, flushing away toxins. As we age, we sweat less, and that's when trouble begins. Bacteria can feast on the compounds left behind on our skin, creating that unmistakable scent. Remember Gloria? She's 80 years old and sharp as a tack, always ready with a joke or a story. But arthritis and old injuries kept her indoors, and over time, she grew anxious about her scent. I suggested something small. Just 10 minutes of walking outside in the early morning or late afternoon, when the sun is gentle and the world is quiet. She didn't believe me at first. "Doc, my legs barely work. What difference can 10 minutes make?" But she tried, shuffling around her garden, letting the sun warm her face. After a month, not only had her confidence soared, but her friends at the senior center commented on her freshness. She even started a morning walking group, 3 friends, 4 canes, and a lot of laughter. You don't need to power walk or join a gym. Just a gentle stroll, a slow lap around your block, a little sunshine on your face. If you're unsteady, bring a friend or use a cane. If you can't walk far, sit on a sunny bench and let the warmth soak in. The sun does more than light up the world. It lights up our spirits, and with just a little movement, helps our bodies shed what they no longer need. Shower daily with warm water and scrub key areas. This next tip is simple but profound. Make showering a daily ritual, using warm, not hot, water. Many of us grew up in homes where daily baths were a luxury. But as our bodies change, daily washing becomes more important than ever. Why warm water? Hot water might feel wonderful in winter, but it can strip away the natural oils that protect your skin, leaving it dry and irritated. Warm water, on the other hand, opens your pores gently, allowing dirt and bacteria to wash away while keeping your skin's protective barrier intact. But here's the most important part. Don't just wash the easy places. Focus on those hidden areas, the places we all tend to skip when we're in a hurry or our backs ache. These are the skin folds, your neck, under your arms, under the breasts, behind your knees, around your groin, and even behind your ears. If you have trouble reaching, use a long-handled brush or ask for help. Gently scrub, but don't rub so hard you damage your skin. I remember one woman, Betty, who confessed to me that she hadn't scrubbed under her arms or behind her knees in years. She was simply too stiff to reach. Once she started paying attention to these spots, the change was dramatic. Her confidence soared. She told me, with tears in her eyes, "For the first time in years, my daughter hugged me and didn't flinch." Don't neglect your scalp, either. Many older adults forget that hair traps sweat, oil, and the compounds that lead to odor. When you wash your hair, take the time to gently massage your scalp, loosening any buildup and letting warm water carry it away. For men with chest or belly hair, be sure to lather and rinse thoroughly there as well. For all, pay extra attention to your feet, especially between the toes. Feet are an ideal breeding ground for bacteria, and odors can rise from your shoes and socks before you know it. After every shower, dry yourself thoroughly. Moisture left in folds can breed bacteria. Use a clean, soft towel, and don't forget those hard-to-reach places. A small investment in self-care can mean a world of difference in how you feel and how others respond to you. Mouth hygiene, brushing, tongue scraping, reduce coffee and alcohol. Now, let's move to a place many people overlook, the mouth. It's easy to focus on skin and forget that much of the scent we carry comes from our breath. As we age, our mouths produce less saliva. This isn't just inconvenient. It allows bacteria to grow, leading to bad breath and contributing to the overall scent others might notice. Good oral hygiene is a daily practice, not a one-time fix. Brush your teeth after every meal. Use a soft bristled brush and gentle toothpaste. But go a step further. Use a tongue scraper. The tongue harbors countless bacteria, and a quick scrape, it only takes a few seconds, can freshen your breath more than you might imagine. At first, it might feel strange or make you gag, but with practice, it becomes second nature. Chew sugar-free gum with xylitol after meals to stimulate saliva production. This isn't just for a minty taste. Saliva is your body's natural mouthwash, washing away bacteria before they can cause problems. A word about coffee and alcohol. I know, for many of us, these are small joys in the day. But both dehydrate the mouth, reducing saliva and encouraging bacteria to grow. You don't have to give up your morning coffee entirely, but try to drink a glass of water for every cup of coffee or tea. If you enjoy a glass of wine or whiskey, balance it with water and try to cut back when possible. These little changes go a long way. Take my friend James. He loved his morning coffee, 3 cups before 9 a.m., and enjoyed an evening cocktail. But he always noticed his wife grimacing during bedtime chats. When he switched to 1 cup of coffee and added more water throughout the day, he was shocked by the difference, not just in how his breath smelled, but in his energy and sleep. Eat antioxidant-rich foods and hydrating fruits/vegetables. Our bodies are built from what we eat, and nowhere is this more obvious than in the way we smell. Certain foods leave behind compounds that seep out through our skin and breath, while others fight the very processes that lead to odor. Antioxidants are your best friends. These are found in fruits and vegetables, especially those that are brightly colored. Think of tomatoes, apples, strawberries, blueberries, and purple grapes. These foods fight oxidation, the chemical process that leads to many signs of aging, including that distinct old person smell. Water-rich produce like cucumbers, watermelon, pears, and leafy greens keeps your body hydrated and helps flush toxins through your urine instead of through your skin. If you find it difficult to chew raw vegetables or fruits, try blending them into a smoothie. Add a handful of spinach, half a banana, a few berries, and water or milk. It's a delicious way to start the day. Even garlic, with its strong flavor, can be helpful. Although it might cause a short-term scent, the compounds in garlic help fight bacteria and reduce long-term body odor. A clove or two each day, if you can tolerate it, is a natural medicine for your body. If you suffer from constipation, pay attention to fiber. Whole grains like brown rice and oats, beans, and vegetables all help keep your digestive system moving, preventing waste from building up and re-entering your bloodstream. This not only keeps you comfortable, but it reduces the compounds that can create odor. My patient Margaret was skeptical. She had never liked fruit, and she saw vegetables as something to be endured, not enjoyed. But after a gentle nudge, she agreed to add 1 apple and 1 tomato to her daily routine. 2 months later, she glowed. Her family remarked on how vibrant and healthy she seemed, and the subtle scent that used to follow her was gone. Maintain clean clothes, bedding, and rotate socks/shoes. Even the best personal hygiene can be undermined by what we wear and where we sleep. Clothes, bedding, socks, and shoes absorb sweat, oil, and the compounds that lead to odor. It's easy, especially as we grow older and laundry feels like a chore, to wear the same shirt or sleep on the same pillowcase for a few days in a row. But these fabrics become breeding grounds for bacteria. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Make it a habit to change your clothes every day, especially underwear and socks. Cotton fabrics are best. They breathe, wick away moisture, and are easy to wash. If possible, dry your clothes in the sun. The sunlight kills bacteria and leaves everything smelling fresh. Bedding deserves special attention. We spend a third of our lives in bed, shedding skin, sweating, and letting our bodies rest. Change your sheets and pillowcases weekly. It may seem excessive at first, but the difference is noticeable. If you have trouble lifting laundry, ask for help or split the task over a few days. Shoes and socks are another source of trouble. Rotate between 2 or 3 pairs of shoes, allowing each pair to dry completely before wearing again. Sprinkle a little baking soda inside to absorb moisture and neutralize odor. Never wear the same socks 2 days in a row, and choose natural fibers whenever possible. Linda, a lifelong gardener, always struggled with foot odor. Her daughter bought her a second pair of walking shoes and a big bag of cotton socks. By rotating shoes, changing socks daily, and using a touch of baking soda, Linda found her feet, and her whole house, smelled fresher. She even dared to slip off her shoes at family gatherings again. Ventilate rooms regularly. Last but not least, remember the air you breathe. Stale, closed-up rooms can trap odors and make even the cleanest home feel unpleasant. Make it a point to open your windows twice a day, even if just for 10 minutes each time, once in the morning, once at night. Fresh air clears out the lingering scents and brings in the crispness of the outside world. If you live in a colder climate, open the windows for just a short burst and close the doors to keep the warmth in. Use fans or air purifiers if necessary. For bathrooms and kitchens, ventilation is even more important, as moisture and food smells can quickly take over. Fred, a widower in upstate New York, hated the cold. "Doc, if I open the window, I freeze." But when he tried just 10 minutes each morning, his whole apartment smelled lighter. His daughter noticed immediately and thanked him for making the effort. Bringing it all together. These steps aren't complicated. You don't need expensive products or complicated routines, just simple, gentle habits practiced every day. The benefits go far beyond fresher air or a more welcoming home. These are the building blocks of a life lived with confidence, dignity, and joy. As you begin to adopt these changes, you may notice more than just an odor reduction. You'll feel more energetic, sleep better, and find that small aches and discomforts begin to ease. Most importantly, you'll rediscover the joy of closeness with your family, friends, and community. The warm hugs, the laughter, the spontaneous moments that make life rich and meaningful. The journey to a fresher, more confident you starts with a single step. Maybe today it's a glass of water, a gentle stroll in the sunlight, or a few extra moments spent scrubbing those forgotten places. Maybe it's asking a loved one for help with laundry or setting a reminder to open a window each morning. Each small action is a gift to yourself and to those who love you. Remember, you are not alone. Thousands have walked this path before you, and many walk it with you today. Together, we can turn the page on shame, embarrassment, or loneliness and write a new story. One of hope, healing, and heartfelt connection. You deserve to live every day with the freshness and comfort you wish for. Your story matters, your well-being matters, and with these simple steps, a new chapter awaits. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to take a moment and truly feel how powerful these small changes can be. Maybe at first, it seemed overwhelming. So many tips, so many habits to start. But remember, every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the fresh, confident self you deserve to be. I've seen countless seniors, just like you, who felt isolated and unsure slowly rediscover their joy, their closeness with family, and their peace of mind simply by embracing these gentle daily rituals. You are not defined by age or by the challenges your body faces. You are defined by your spirit, your kindness, and your willingness to care for yourself. Taking care of your body, your skin, your breath, and your home is an act of love. Love for yourself and for those who cherish you. Imagine the warmth of a grandchild's hug without hesitation, the ease of laughter around the dinner table, the comfort of knowing you are fully present and welcomed. So now, I ask you, what's one thing from today's video that you feel ready to try? Maybe it's drinking more warm water, taking a gentle walk in the sun, or simply opening a window each morning. Whatever it is, remember, you deserve to live fully and beautifully every day. Thank you for letting me be a part of your story. If this video touched your heart or helped you in any way, please share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we'll keep learning, growing, and embracing the best of life at every age.